Hello there, everybody. Welcome to Ludumania. This is Mike the Ludumaniac with good old Castlevania, the very first installment in the classic ghoul-slaying saga, where Simon Belmont takes on against the evil forces of darkness led by Count Vlad Tepes Dracula III, or Dracula, if you will. Now, I'm not going to give much else of a preamble. Likely everyone knows this game already, so I'm just going to dive right into it. So, here we are, right in front of the castle, whipping them torches, which all generate items, most of which are beneficial. I mean, right away you'll get these chain whips that increase your whip's power. Usually you won't have to go very long with the standard basic whip. And here we get the stopwatch, a sub-weapon which is of dubious use because it hogs 5 hearts every time it's consumed. And it doesn't work on bosses. I just use it to freeze that weird panther thing. But, if you jump over them, they're not so bad to deal with. So yeah, starts out pretty easy, as you can see. Oh, and there's a rosary, an item which obliterates everything on screen. Sometimes enemies drop random things you wouldn't expect, like I just found a second rosary, but everything in the candles and torches are already predetermined. However, I think we could do better on the sub-weapon front, so let's keep an eye out for something. Also, classic trick here, bust this wall for a slice of musty old meat that's been trapped in there for what I imagine is centuries. It's perfectly fit for consumption and boosts your life bar up by a great deal. So here be the fishmen. Rarely I've encountered it where a fishman jumps right up in front of your face and knocks you down into the pit. Also, if you whip that block there and drop it on the platform, a flashing money bag worth 1,000 points comes up. You can also get a flashing money bag out in front of the gate if you jump over the entrance and then jump back. But I accidentally automatically went into the entrance, and once you get right next to it, then you just go in and can't really control it. So, well, we'll see if I can demonstrate that when this comes around to the second loop. But I don't know. This game's been hardwired into my brain, so I'm just going off of what I remember. Like, there's the invisibility potion, which makes you invincible for, like, all of 5 seconds. Usually not too useful. But now I just grabbed the axe, which is going to be incredibly useful for the Phantom Bat. And there's a double shot hidden in that block, which allows me to have 2 axes on screen at once. The Phantom Bat is, however, incredibly easy. You might take a hit if he corners you, but you really shouldn't have many problems with him, if any. Ha! Froze him in the back whip swing. I like doing that. Yeah, you hold onto the A and B buttons, and Simon just keeps whipping it and jumping in victory. Also, he is faceless. I mentioned this back in Double Dribble, but I always found it amusing how all of Konami's human characters from the 80s did not have any definable facial features. Oh, and here we have the boomerang, or the cross, or as I tend to call it, the crosserang. With that open for a crown that pops up there, worth 2,000 points. And a good old crosserang. Very powerful weapon, hits twice, does fair damage. However, in this installment of Castlevania, I am actually more preferable to the Holy Water, because it totally chews through bosses and some more difficult enemies that take more than one hit. Still, the crosserang is very good to have for now. The axe is a good weapon too, but it's a little bit more situational. Whatever the case, anything beats the dagger, which is the Dan Hibiki of Castlevania sub-weapons. And here come the Medusa heads, infinitely spawning sine wave blue snaky-headed ladies. There's the dagger, we're not going to get that. It is too weak for our purposes, I'm afraid. These knights aren't so bad to deal with, but of course with the whole they take more than one hit thing, that could be a problem. Now I swear there's a secret that spawns around here, but I might be wrong. Yeah, let's just move on. I'm not playing this for points, I'm just playing it to beat it. And I'm going to attempt to beat it without continuing. I don't guarantee I can do it without losing a life, but I did do this... God damn it. The instant I got cocky, I got Medusa-headed. Oh wow, that's a story right there. Also, I was supposed to stand on the platform for like 2 or 3 seconds. Well, that's why the Medusa heads are the most hated enemies in the series tenure. Either them or the Hunchbacks, which we'll meet in a later level. But yeah, if you move too hastily, you will get knocked into a pit by those fragile but agile little freaking jerks. Oh wow, I lost a life in the 2nd level? That is so Bush League. I mean, well, I guess it's been a while since I've played any Castlevania games, so I'm a little bit rusty. But I'll redeem myself if we don't make any more deaths throughout the rest of this stage. I think I should be able to beat it, just, you know, watch out for the Medusas. Well, that's Castlevania for you. You will fall into many pits before you manage to conquer it, although there's a little piece of wall meat we can take there with us. Alright, now these 3 crushers... Oh, hey, the holy water. For the second one here, go midway in, then duck. It's a little faster than the other 2. For the other 2, you're just going to have to run under them. The holy water, however, is a godsend. Like those little ghost guys, they usually take several hits, but... Oops. Stupid bat dove down on me. Holy water with a double shot is very good. Holy water with a triple shot is fatal. And there is a triple shot. Oh, let's see what this does. Well, we have these here bone pillars. Normally they take 6 hits. But what does the holy water do? Oh, well, it does not instantly kill them. Actually, they're somewhat resistant to it, so bad example. Now, I can really only well demonstrate the holy water's power on a monster in motion. Like one vial there roasts those ghosts that appear out of midair. But we are soon coming up to the boss, known as the Queen Medusa. These little antagonists, we will meet their arch-patron. Represented as the head of, I don't know, Greek goddess or whatever. And then, whoop, she explodes into a giant flashing Medusa head. Which is kind of annoying to deal with, but if you just make it a battle of attrition, it's not so bad. However, behold the power of the holy water! Just keep spamming vials, it'll freeze her in place and roast her to hell. Boom. If you don't have the holy water, you can probably just get by just, you know, whipping her really quickly, just using whatever sub-weapons you have on hand. But, I cannot stress the holy water enough. In the original Castlevania, it is almost as powerful as the spread gun from Contra. A little hard to use, maybe not so useful for more agile enemies, but against bosses and larger enemies, it just slays them. I mean, wow. Speaking of annoying enemies, though, there's a Hunchback. A little guy just jumped down on us. They jump around very erratically if you don't deal with them right away. However, if you make a whip the instant they touch down on the ground, they will then jump right up into your extended whip, and that'll be the end of them. And that is a basic skeleton, the backbone of Dracula's forces. Yeah, it was a way too easy pun. Although, skeletons proper don't appear in this game until the 3rd level here. Or, well, stage 7 technically. There are what I consider to be 6 levels, 6 areas ruled by bosses, but each level in question is subdivided into 3 stages. Oh jeez. And those are ravens, who are really obnoxious, perhaps even worse to deal with than the Medusa heads. Oh yeah, there's another flashing money bag there if you crouch down on that platform at the end. But yeah, the ravens fly about pretty erratically, they can be hard to predict, and eventually it'll just like try to dive bomb into you before flying off the screen. Also, after the first two stages, Simon takes 3 bits of damage instead of just 2 bits from anything that hits him. So if he doesn't get any wall meat, he will die in 6 hits. And here's the return of the Medusas. Thankfully, no pits to unceremoniously slay me by. But, god darn, I'm still so embarrassed that happened. Well, you know, I don't want to demonstrate too much hubris. I mean, I trust myself to demonstrate the games decently, but I cannot always guarantee a rousing performance. There's the Crosserang, which normally I would be inclined to pick up, but I have a triple shot Holy Water, and it's going to serve us well if we can get to the boss fight with it in tow. Of course, if we die, then that's bad, and I am not picking up that stopwatch, that's even worse. Enemies are dropping a lot of rosaries on this play. Huh. Well, all the more useful for me, but usually there are enemies in the screen when I use them. So here we have a bone pillar. Let me see, hopefully he's not going to go all flashy on me as I try to jump the gap. If you time your whip strikes with their flashes, then you can hit them and their fireballs at the same time. So, we're on the Stage 9, or Level 3-3, if you will. Roast that Raven. I believe this bridge is just one flat straight line to the boss. Littered with ravens and bone pillars. Oh, whoa. Okay. That one almost hit me, and so did that one. But we got through it okay, so let's just keep marching. Oh, that is so obnoxious when he dies below the hit limit there. But yeah, skeletons here are agile, and they'll throw bones at you. Oh, and notice the construct in the background. I believe that's the Castle Keep, which is the stage for the final conflict. Oh, just took another hit there. There's a nice bit of consistency of the buildings. Oh, hey, it's a giant mummy. Do not pick up the dagger. No, no, no. Alright, now, there's like a little bit of stairs here. You can destroy the bottom platform for some meat, but I don't recommend doing that. No, just run in, and then the mummies will activate. It's best to just stay up here and then drop down so that you avoid their bandages. Now, you can do this, hit them conventionally with the whip, or... ... We've got 49 hearts. What do you think I'm going to do? Bomb spam! And there we have Roast Mummy Twins. For your consideration and or enjoyment. Huh. Except for that really horrible gaffe in the second area, think I'm doing pretty okay right now. I hope I am, anyway. So then, a little sudden transition here. I guess that's a really early video game cutscene where Simon goes plunging down the shaft into these dingy... Oh, no. Ah, shoot. Well, we just, inadvertently pulled the... Oh, Lord. So, bats. A very basic part of Dracula's forces, but a very horribly vicious one when positioned above pits. And they're almost as bad as Medusa heads. They fly a bit straighter, but they're just as common and potentially fatal. But thankfully, there's a holy water, so let's take that back, and oh, that came close. That fish man almost charged us right off the stage. Now duck here, or else you will be, or else you will slide off the platform. Boy. Jeez, that's 2 kills in a row there, huh? Okay, so we're halfway through the game, and it's taken a really exponential leap up in difficulty. And I really hate to lose a life twice in the exact same area, and the holy water just fell through the floor, or getting an axe instead, which is, you know, I guess not awful, but, you know, if I had my druthers, I'd rather have my blue liquid of flaming death. Ugh, God, this is going really bad, though. Alright, well, you know. These aren't speedruns, and they aren't perfect long plays. I'm just playing it as it is. Anyway, once we escape those dreadful dungeons, we come into this open field where gigantic birds are dropping hunchbacks onto the floor. Whip them the instant they touch ground, or you will have a severe problem on your hands. Oh hey, we got enough points for a bonus life. That's exactly what we needed at this point. Whoops, missed that one. Oh, jeez. A little slow right now. Wonder if any of them will be kind enough to drop me a holy water. If only. Oh, jeez, here's the Bone Dragon. This ghastly, spiny, spiky guy can only be hit in the head, and he moves pretty erratically. Gave us a double shot, but, you know, if only I had something better. You know, i.e. the holy water. But, oh, that's just worse. I got the dagger by accident, so we're going to have to face the boss with a very ill-fitting weapon, if we'll even survive it. Pot roast. Jeez. Okay, my odds are suddenly really crappy. Oh man, how did it get to this, huh? Oh, jeez. And we're taking all sorts of hits, too, so what can we do at this rate? Well, the boss is none other than Frankenstein's monster. He is flanked by a hunchback known as Igor, who, while he doesn't look different from any other hunchbacks, is a complete jerk. Once he jumps off of Drac's shoulders there, he jumps across the room and shoots fireballs at you, and he is really hard to deal with because you move slowly and he does not. Now, if I had the holy water, I could potentially just keep Frank frozen, or Frank's monster rather, frozen with endless holy water vials. And that would make my life a lot easier, but sadly, it seems that this particular run is going to have some worse fate for me in mind, so what can I do? Well, what can I do? I'm going to fight, that's what I'm going to do. So here we are, Frankenstein's monster and the little hunchback Igor. Oh. Alright. He's launching these fireballs, which can be destroyed. Alright. Oh, we'll try and kill Frankenstein with the... Oh, hey! Hey! I managed to finish him off with the dagger. I'll be flummoxed. Alright, so that was pretty tough, but I got lucky. It seems staying in the corner was a good idea in this case. So on we go to the 5th level, which I believe is the torture chamber, or the dungeons, if you will. Right away, we have these 2 jerks as your welcoming committee. Skeleton will be tossing bones from above, and I just got hit. Oh hey! Generous, lovely, delicious holy water. Also, I took a pretty large chunk of damage there. Unfortunately, Simon now takes... You stupid skeleton, get over here! Okay, he's not being compliant. Holy water to the rescue, but I took 2 hits and my life bar is halfway down. Yeah, you can only take 4 hits now before you die. A severe downgrade. Either the monsters are getting stronger, or Simon is suffering from some fatigue. Okay. So here, the skeletons are very annoying to deal with. Let's just take it slow for now, and we can deal with whatever comes our way. Also, I'm pretty sure there's a slab of meat here. Oh hey, the red skeleton, or the blood skeleton. They move much slower than the white ones, and they don't toss bones, but they are immortal. You can only hit them to make them collapse for a few seconds, but they will then resurrect, so you just gotta deal with that. They're really not so bad, they're just more obstacles than anything. And Ah, there's our wall meat, or block meat. So, now we got that. What else do we got to deal with? Oh, crap. It's the Axe Knight. Oh, these guys are mean. They're practically mini-bosses. They shoot axes like your boomerangs, which is kind of ironic. They're destructible, but they can shoot them high or low. So you have to put a little distance between yourself. Thankfully, these enemies were made for the holy water. So we can freeze that one, have him walk right into it, and there, he's dead in 2 throws. Oh, but I missed the big heart that he dropped there by accident. And we just got an axe, which was, I hate to say it, but it was kind of an accident, because I really wanted to keep the holy water. Without the holy water, I'm afraid the boss is going to be really awful. Like, oh lord. Instead of keeping the boss frozen, we're going to have to fight it legitimately. And that might come down to a little bit of luck in the end. Hopefully, though, I can deal. But we'll just have to see now, won't we? Uh-oh. We are sandwiched between 2 enemies. Come on, we're meant to turn around and hit that guy at least once. Those money bags aren't technically worth getting, but points do give you bonus lives in this game. I'm just going to be impatient for now. This game is a lot more purple than I remember, by the way. The Axe Knights are purple, the axes are purple. It might be the contrast of this screen, but well, I guess purple is a bit of a creepy color. It's like often associated with power, and I believe purple means death in Japan, like the number 4. But my mythology might be off base there. Oh yeah, and the bone pillars are purple. So, if my memory serves, up next is one of, if not the most agonizing stretch of the game. However, we'll take the cross-orang rip with us. It's not the holy water, but it'll do in a pinch. Let's just stay down the stair so that the bone skeleton pillars just go right over. Okay, and there's some wall meat. Alright. I'm going to try a trick here. Here's a little trick for you. If you destroy several enemies and or candles with just your sub-weapon, you'll eventually come across a candle that will give you a double or triple shot. Like that! Oh boy. Yep, this is it. This is also one of the most obnoxious and aggravating parts in the game, where you're barraged by a double header of Medusa heads and Axe Knights. And the boomerang is unfortunately not too effective on Axe Knights. I mean, I think it does some damage, but... oh, and we do not want that stopwatch. Yeah, there we go. Not only does it do some damage, but I just got a bonus life there. And hey, it's the triple shot. Alright, you know what? We might be able to take on this after all. Ladies and gentlemen, say hello to the second most popular and or recurring boss in the entire series, Death, the Grim Reaper. And I jumped right into one of his sickles. Crap. So yeah, the Grim Reaper's catch is that he generates floaty sickles of doom from out of nowhere. And they can kill you even after you've killed him, so... oh. Whew. Okay, I got kind of lucky there. He drops down from the upper right of the screen. If you have the triple shot holy water, you can just keep jumping and tossing him onto that platform on the right. He'll be frozen and he won't be able to do anything. But we had to fight him legitimately there. We survived, so congratulations. But, yeah, those sickles are somewhat arbitrary, and he flies about somewhat erratically, too, so... very, very, very good and or lucky that we lived. So we're already at the final level here, which gives you a very nasty surprise. You'll notice as the Phantom Bat, the return of the first boss, And there's another one. And I just got hit. And here's yet another one. Oh boy. And I'm almost dead. And I fell off like a stupid idiot dork. Gravity is not my friend here. Well, we'll just have to deal with the axe then. Actually, there's a stopwatch that gets dropped, and this is the only place in the game where I encourage using... You jerk! Alright, I gotta tell you, I really, really, really hate this part. Because the movements of the Phantom Bats are erratic and unpredictable, and... I was really hoping I could do this run without having to continue, but... That's disappointing. Unfortunately, it seems fate wasn't willing to let me have a clean sweep victory there. If I could, I'd kill all of these bastards, but... that's not efficient. You're just going to get hung up. But, I kind of hate that part. It's, you know, you can do barely anything about them if they just decide to really fly into you without warning. As you just seen over there. Thankfully, though, this last stage is actually pretty short. So, if you have to continue, it's not going to be too much of a reset. I am just so disappointed that happened. Well, I don't always promise super prim and pristine plays. Except if it's Mega Man. I'm pretty sure I can beat all of those without continuing. Not to brag, but, okay, maybe to brag. Oh, we got the dagger. Honestly, I'd rather have the stopwatch than the dagger. The dagger is totally worthless in this situation, but thankfully that wall meat is helpful. So the return of the Hunchback dropping eagles in the very first clock tower of the series. This clock tower segment doesn't last too long, and this is before technology allowed the gears to actually move. But, you know, the basic design's there. And the faster you move through that bit, the better. It takes a little bit of chance to get through it unscathed. Or undead, at least. But if we survive, and here we are at the Castle Keep. The finale toccata, if you will. Iconic walk up the stairs to Dracula's lair. Thankfully, the game is generous enough to offer us our chance of either boomerang or holy water. And there is Drac's head rising up from the below. Alright, so Drac works in an eventually identifiable pattern, but one that can be a little tough to keep a steady hand on. In fact, you know, since I already had to continue and I slightly don't care anymore, just in case I get mauled, I'm going to die on purpose so that I can reset my life bar. That way I have a full 4 hits to deal with Dracula. There's the whip, there's the power, and there's the man of the hour. I'm going to take the holy water with me, actually. You'll see. The holy water is actually completely useless to Dracula at this point. But what we're supposed to do is wait until he fully materializes. Then when he opens his cape, and the instant those fireballs fly out, we jump over them. And simultaneously, we hit him in the head, where is the only part he can be damaged. If you jump too soon, however, he actually shoots the fireballs upward. He aims them at you, so to speak. Better too soon than too late, though. If you're a little bit too late, then you just miss hitting him. But missing hitting is better than getting hit yourself. Also, as a rather nasty trick, he usually likes to teleport in right where you stand. So always be moving. Or else he might telefrag you, if that's a proper term I can use in this case. Alright, but keep a steady hand, and as a little piece of advice, do not finish him off on... Oh, he telefragged me, you stupid. That might cost me in the long run. Do not finish him off unless he is on the extreme left or right of the screen. Why is that? Why is that? Well, we're just going to wait a bit, see what he does. No, he keeps trying to telefrag me. I don't like that. No, he's doing it again. Drac, you are being a dingus. Okay, there we go. Boo! Oh. And we miss our big chance, and arg. Stupid, stupid, stupid. This is most offensive. I am so sorry, folks. Real interesting final conflict this is, huh? Well, maybe I'm just going to get impatient and kill him off the bat. Hang on. Let me see if he's gonna... No, he's still not doing it. Well, you get a pretty generous amount of time. Okay, that's gonna have to do. Anyway, destroy him and his head flies off before the rest of his body explodes into this giant blue and white demon of hell. He can only still be damaged in the head, and I jumped right into him like a dummy. That was a fluke. He cannot control Simon's jump once he's gone. Anyway, what Demon Drac here does is attempt to jump upon you instead of teleporting around. And when he does a small jump like that, it is impossible to run under him, so he can potentially trap you on the side of the screen. Thankfully, though, if you have the holy water, you can freeze him in place and slow his... Yes! Slow his jumping towards you. Apply holy water liberally to keep him in place, and he will be felled eventually. And that, in a nutshell, is Castlevania. Oof. Not my best run. I'm very disappointed I had to continue, but that Phantom Bat bridge scene is kind of BS. I'd say it's the cheapest the game gets, but otherwise I find it's mostly fair. I mean, Simon does move fairly slow. I mean, he's no Mario in terms of agility or jump height. But, you know, once you get used to the slightly slow controls of the game, it should become natural, and only the most agile enemies like Medusa heads will give you major problems from after you get really accustomed to things. Also, here are all the fake credits based on actual actors, usually horror actors, like Dracula's played by Christopher B., you know, Christopher Lee from the Hammer horror films, and you played the greatest role of this story. There was Bela Lugosi, Barbara Sherry instead of Barbara Sherry, and all that and all that. And after you get thanked for playing, you get to start a second loop where the enemies are a bit faster, you take 4 hits from the offset, and there's the Money Bag One Show. Boom. Now there's an amusing bonus in the second level, which I kinda like to reach, but if I want to go through the second loop, you'll notice that you're being bombarded with bats in addition to zombies. I believe the bats were not originally in the hallway, so already things feel a little bit more congested. Wasn't able to turn around in time to hit that zombie. Oh, hey! And we got free holy water. Unfortunately, that's not going to be useful against the Phantom Bat boss, the only boss on which the otherwise coveted holy water is useless. Although I gotta say, the Crosserang really helped me with death too, so it might come down to personal preference. I think the holy water is a little more powerful, but the Crosserang is more versatile. And the axe can be good occasionally. And, you know, hell, even the dagger helped me kill Frankenstein's monster. So, the stopwatch kinda sucks, though. It's a lot more situational. I think it works on the Phantom Bat, but on nothing else. Yeah, I almost want to say the stopwatch is even worse than the dagger, but it can be useful in a few situations if you're being overwhelmed by enemies, but I wouldn't carry it around out of habit, personally. Also, I believe I've been recording for more than half an hour. Don't want to make it go too much longer than 40 minutes if I can help it, but I currently don't have XSplit's timer up, Because I'm a dummy, and if I click off, it'll give you that "Be Right Back" screen, which plagued my play of Pac-Man. Unfortunately, we have double holy water, where it is relatively useless. Or is it? Let's see if it'll fly down on that platform. Nope, 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 not taking the bait. Alright, we're just going to have to slay it the old-fashioned way. Also, I always felt the Phantom Bat sprite was pretty dorky, because he has this... It always looks like it's just like a large head with a giant gaping mouth hanging open. Looks a little silly, in my opinion. Anyway, I'll cut this run after I get to the special bonus in the second level, which you will only find if you are playing on a subsequent loop of the game. And potentially, I guess you can keep on going until you reach a kill screen, if a kill screen does exist on this. I do not know if there is an end, but it gets even harder the more loops you play over it, so I guess it's kind of like the new game pluses of Dark Souls, which may be one of several reasons why Dark Souls is being referred to as the modern-day Castlevania. I can agree with that assessment to an extent. And I wonder if that would be a game to show off sometime, but... Oh, well. Anyway, as you can see, we're getting bombarded with Medusa heads, which did not happen at this point of Area 2. No, it didn't start until after the checkpoint door. I do like that Castlevania's checkpoints are clearly marked with the transition-y doors and whatnot. Like, maybe that was done to save space, but I gotta love the sound that the door makes when it opens up. Okay, now, the bonus is somewhere around here. If I can remember exactly how to summon it without getting knocked into the pit. Isn't that like the exact same place I died last time, too? Well, Medusa heads are probably the most hated enemy in the entire series, with good, sensible, horrible reason. And I gotta hate them too. But it'll be worth it to see the special bonusy thing. If I remember exactly how to activate it, because now I'm sort of forgetting how to do that. This is making my video run quite over time, but it's been a pretty tiring week, and my eyes are starting to sink back into my skull, so we're just gonna take it a little bit slower here. Alright, good. Nope, hang on. Now, if you stay completely still and just whip in front of you, then... shoot. And you should be able to take care of the Medusa heads in question. It's pretty mean that they spawn 2 in a row like that. Okay, now. Pretty sure the bonus is up here. Oh, man. Well, I grabbed it, but you didn't get to see it very well. So, in the interest of dragging this out even further, terribly sorry for this, but I'm going to not fluke jump onto that. See if it will come up again, or if I've already grabbed it and that's all I can do. No, it should come up again, I think. Anyway, the item in question is worth 4,000 points, and oh, hello. Uh-oh. Whoa. Okay, I imagine that would be a good speedrun technique to deliberately get hit by an enemy and bounce up onto a platform. But that's not really my expertise, so... Okay, is it going to appear again? There we go! It's a Moai head! A spinning Moai head worth 4,000 points. The Moai head, the icon of Konami's shooter series Gradius, or Gradius if you will, I am still unsure how to pronounce it, which I should definitely play at some point. In fact, I did record a run of the PC Engine version of Gradius partway through, but it was not up to my satisfaction, and I got a little frustrated with it, so I deemed it not fit for print, but I might return to that again sometime. I may go for the NES version also, which is easier. Maybe the original arcade version, although that is pretty aggravating. But, even back then, Konami was into crossing their games over with their own references. Anyway, let me just plunge to the pit here, because I think my work is done for now. I think that's all I can say about Castlevania. I forgot to bring a glass of water, and my throat is really starting to dry out, so I better shut it now. Anyway, thanks for stopping into this fairly overtime episode of Ludumania. I am Mike, and thank you very much for tuning in. I'll decide what the next video will be on, but I can definitely assure you I will be starting in Hotline Miami 2 when it releases on Tuesday. I'll figure out what to play, if anything, over the next 3 days leading to then, but until then, take good care of yourself, and I will see you around.